You can't fear failure, but you have to hate it. Playing the NFL, it's an incredible privilege,
Yeah.
right? Just to be able to do that. But then also it's a hard cliff at the end.
Hmm.
I tell people we got fired from my dream job twice,
Yeah. Me too.
right? You figure out the strengths and the weaknesses and you fill the holes, you fill the gaps. And then you never want to be the smartest person in the room. Just to be honest, you got to
Yeah.
round yourself out with excellence.
Yeah.
Try to find it every step of the way. We just came off the World Cup,
Yeah.
right, at Cosm, and it was the people I met 8-9 years ago that helped us as a company have the success we had now. We were able to bring this together because the product was so good. And then what sparked the idea around Cosm, look, it was a mashup of a bunch of different ideas. I think we can put live sports in here. I think we could put this all together and it'll work. And I was like, guys, I'm coming with something. And they're like, sure, Jeb, can't wait. To competitors out there, I would just say good luck. You figure out the strengths and the weaknesses and you fill the holes, you fill the gaps,
Yeah.
you know? And then you never want to be the smartest person in the room. Just be honest. You got to, round yourself out with excellence.
Yeah.
Try to find it every step of the way. And that's how we've done what we've done now, because we get just great talent everywhere.
I don't even know where to start right now. I'll start with the thing that's at home. I grew up in Charlotte, and a lot of people don't know one of my dreams was to play basketball at Carolina.
Okay.
You're a Carolina guy. Tell me about that experience right there.
Look, Carolina is, people ask me about what my favorite teams are, what I do, and I'm Carolina all the way. I wrap up a lot of company meetings with, say, go Heels. People kind of roll their eyes at it. I am obnoxiously a Carolina fan. I love it. I love the Heels, undergrad and then going back for graduate school, everything about it. Met my wife there, lived there for quite some time when we were raising our family. So being at Carolina is one of the favorite times of my life, and immense pride of being in the Tar Heel community. One of the coolest college towns
For sure.
left,
Yeah.
and just the fandom, the alumni base, all of it. Go Heels all the way, man.
Yeah.
All the way.
As athletes, one of the things that we want to do is we want to go to college, we want to graduate, we want to have great relationships. And then, if you play sports, you want to get to the league. That happened for you and you get a chance to play, 3 years, 5 years. But it's not like the career that, you envision, because you're dealing with injuries, you're dealing with controversy, you're dealing with challenges. And then all of a sudden, I guess the word that they give us that's it's safer than fired is cut. When something like that happens and you've given your life to this thing, like, put me in your mindset of what are you thinking? What are you thinking about doing next? Just the journey of that.
Well, look, playing the NFL, it's an incredible privilege.
Yeah.
Right. Just to be able to do that. But then also it's a hard cliff at the end.
Hmm.
I tell people we got fired from my dream job twice.
Yeah. Me too.
Right. And it's not like they just gradually walk you there and they give you this. Now, you get cut and out of the building,
Yeah.
put your stuff in a trash bag and leave. People that aren't in it don't necessarily understand how abrupt that is.
Mhm.
And the first time, right, regrouped, I was dealing with an injury, I was able to get on another team. And then the second time, tried to hang around a little bit, had a few workouts, and it was one of these things where I wasn't playing great football. And
Yeah.
I had to come to that realization to know that I wasn't playing good enough at
Mhm.
that level. I think that was the biggest thing that allowed me to regroup, because
Yeah.
it was the want to was there and the will to do it was there, but the capability was just not there anymore. Just
Oh.
wasn't playing good ball.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I could have tried to stay around and do the thing and maybe got a year or two more. Who knows? I always got really close to being really good,
Uh-huh.
but there was just for some reason, somehow the world just didn't work out for me that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was just accepting that reality and then trying to regroup and get that new focus somewhere else. And that's why I went back to business school, is to regroup
Yeah.
and re-enter the job force and study for my career, not study for my grades.
Uh-huh.
There's all this mind shift you have to go through. It was that kind of acceptance
Mhm.
really is what it is that allowed the mindset to shift and go into, okay, what are we building next? Where do we apply this same will, desire, want to, and how do I build my capability and tool set to go out and achieve those things?
Yeah. And then you go to Goldman, which is a great job,
Yeah,
and you could have built a 50-year career there, but you only stay there a short time
short time.
to go and do Gridiron Greats, where we first crossed paths. Why leave the safe thing and then go build a startup in a world that you've never existed in?
Well, look, my time at Goldman, it was in my MBA program, and it
Mhm.
was my summer internship. And I went up to New York, and then I went down to Texas, and was going to go build a career, this banking career. and it would have been a fantastic spot. Working for Goldman is one of those times where you're surrounded by a lot of talent.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot like at a great NFL team. You
Mhm.
look around and there's talent everywhere, and that you've got the brand name, and it would have been an incredible opportunity, but there was something about the desire to start something and build something um and build a team and go out and do those things. And I can't explain why, but it just made sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It just made sense to take that risk, go build and do. And look, when we built Gridiron Grunts, right? By the way, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
we had to go through a lot to build that
Uh-huh.
platform. And that was actually one of these things of a dream kind of realized,
Yeah.
right? Because this was at a time when mobile was cranking, the iPhone had just come out, social media was just starting to do the thing. And we were doing mobile video from the best athletes in the world in the
Mhm.
coolest locations ever.
Yeah.
We knew how to navigate the athlete side, and we knew how to build teams, and we knew how to do that, but we didn't know how to present the app, how to drive customer acquisition, how to optimize the app store. There's so much we didn't know that we had to learn. We didn't know how to raise money,
Uh-huh.
right? And by the way, my partner Ryan Neese, who you
Yeah, yeah.
know is one of the best. He and I
Uh-huh.
were going through this together, which was one of these learning curves. And to be able to have a teammate with you going through that, I think was actually core to the success
Yeah.
is having that team. We eventually figured it out,
Mm.
right? Eventually figured it out, but it's one of that 4 or 5 years of building Gridiron Grunts and then turning it into Straight Cast, which we sold to Fox. That was arguably the most important 5 years of my professional career.
Double click on that a little bit because sometimes people don't start because there's a lot of things that you just learn on the journey. Walk me through those early days where you have the idea and then it's time to execute and build technology and then reach out to your peers when now video is just everywhere. Back then, everybody was like, what are you
What are
talking
you
about?
talking about? You want me to do a video here and this? Like what?
And talk to who?
Yeah, it's funny, man. So the idea originally came about because we wanted to figure out how to sell quarterback cadences as ringtones. Like, that was in the
Um,
ringtone phase,
yeah.
right? Where we were like, "Oh, man." It was when Peyton was saying Omaha and everyone's like, "Omaha, Omaha."
Yeah.
If you remember that phase, we're
Uh-huh.
like, "We could sell that as a ringtone. People would buy that all day."
Mhm.
But it was anchored in fandom and that all these fans out there wanted more access, wanted more understand the more personal stories, right? They wanted to know the athletes, the teams, the brands better. And so we started down this path of how do we build this platform? What do we do? And it's like, okay, we've got to get phones to the guys because they're not going to come fly somewhere and do this or that. We've got to set up these deals and relationships. So we started down the path. We hired engineers of building the app first.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, what can this thing do? And then it started off as just an audio tool.
Uh-huh.
That's why we called it Gridiron Grunts. It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
tweets, but for professional athletes. And eventually it was, well, the audio file is the same as a video file.
Uh,
So can we actually just have these guys create videos?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, that works. And as the engineers knew how to make it happen. And then go, okay, what do the fans want? They don't want nonsense, right? At least at the time they didn't.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what they want all the time,
Debatable.
but it's debatable. But then we're okay, how do we give them straight from the athlete, all access, but talking about sport, the things that
Mhm.
matter, showing the locker room, the field, the pregame, the postgame. And that's where it started to click. And it was just kind of this evolution. And I think one of the biggest things is, and we talk about this at our company all the time now. You can't fear failure. Like they they have this thing, this fear of failure that's out there. And the thing is, you can't fear it, but you have to hate it.
Ah,
Right. And so I'd probably venture to say you're the same way. You hate losing, like
yeah.
absolutely worst thing. You probably hate losing more than you like winning.
1000%.
Right. And that's the same way, but you can't be scared of that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a nuance to it, but we weren't afraid to start this thing. We weren't afraid to learn along this path. And we knew we could just fight through it. And there were so many downswings in that first business of okay, like existential, like I can't pay
Yeah.
I had to call my engineers like, guys, I can't pay you this month. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Like we got to figure this out, and we'd
Uh,
figure it out, find more funding, or just fight through that
mm,
phase until you get to that proof point,
mhm.
and then you get the validation and you start to build it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's really the spirit of how we built that.
I love how just a lot of your career has been enduring through things to get to the other side. And you endured to eventually Fox comes calling and says, "Hey, we would like to acquire this." And then you go to Fox. Tell me about that experience of actually now being in a true corporate environment
Oh
and
yeah.
growing up, and what did you learn and how did that shape how you like go about your world
So
today?
look, I mean that being my time at Fox is also quite transformational. But one of the things about you meant like enduring, right?
Mhm.
Going through, I think one of the most valuable entrepreneur traits is the ability to endure and digest pain.
Yeah.
Like to be able to go through these things, take the lumps, be told no, go through that and go through the work. I mean, most people don't know that my freshman year in college, I broke my ankle and they said I'd never play again. I
Mm,
had 20 screws in my leg and had to sit out my second year.
yeah.
Going through these things sets you up for the success. So going through the learnings of gridiron grunts and then going through and having to reset to go in a corporate world where I had that stint at Goldman Sachs as a banker, but as an MBA intern, not
Yeah.
as a VP. And so going into Fox is where I learned a ton.
Mhm.
And I think the reason I had success at Fox, we had our product line, right? So we were able to have what was called Procast at Fox, but then being able to be curious enough to go out and do the other things. And I'll never forget, I was fortunate. I got to be on the team that was doing the World Cup in Moscow, right?
It's a
I,
great
I
experience.
and I got to go to Moscow for one of these pre-meetings, meeting with FIFA, and that was one of the things. You got people doing business in every language around the world. You're in Moscow. You're talking shop. You're looking at all of the technology and innovation and what's going on and preparing for this massive global event. And that was just a huge moment for me of inspiration of being like, this is what I want to be doing. Like
Mm,
this is fulfilling. I love it. We're building. I love the people, the partnerships, all those things. And I got to tell you, we just came off the World Cup,
yeah.
right? At Cosm
Mhm.
8 years later.
Mhm.
And it was the people I met 8, 9 years ago at that event that helped us as a company have the success we had now. Right.
But
It's just like recurring thing along the way. And it was that time there that informed how to succeed now.
and do you think as an athlete, when you were playing, did you even see any of this future, or did it take those steps to get to being able to see this?
No, definitely didn't see the future.
Mhm.
No. I think as an athlete, really anchored on the importance of the team
Uh-huh.
and building those relationships and trying to be kind of a valuable partner to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Teamwork, you gotta play next to your guy, you got to do your job, all those things. I think that informs a lot of the way we do business.
Uh-huh.
But there's no way I could have envisioned where we are now. I think the through line, right? And there is a through line to everything that I've done. We're privileged to work in sport
Uh-huh.
and entertainment, and there's fans everywhere. As an executive, my job is to find the best tech that I can to give the fans what they want, more of what they want, a different view of what they want,
Yeah.
to help them celebrate. So this through line of sport, media, tech, I think every step of the way is just an element to that. So
Yeah.
in Gridiron Grunts, it was about giving fans more access to their favorite players, leveraging this new tech, the iPhone, mobile video, all those things to give them deeper access and understanding.
Yeah.
At Fox, we were bringing their linear portfolio, all the great rights that we have, and then applying it to mobile, social, digital, web, immersive. That's where I learned about VR,
Yeah.
right? And that was foundational to what we're doing now. And at Cosm, we're looking at just ways for you as a fan to be your best fan.
Yeah.
Like if you love the Bulldogs, you're gonna absolutely love watching them play football at Cosm.
Yeah.
If you love, the Hawks, if you love the Falcons, you name it, it's the best place to experience that. Or if you love Harry Potter, right, or It, or
Yeah.
Wonka, or The Matrix, it's all that. It's about fandom and us leveraging technology to give you as a fan the best experience possible. That's the through line.
Let's pull all the way through the Cosm. I was at the Atlanta Grand Open, and it is unreal. Like to
Thank
feel
you.
like you almost feel like you can feel the sweat, like everything's so high def. But that's not a small undertaking.
No.
It's not like, hey, I want to go make a juice or something like that. It's like a lot of moving parts, and you bring all these combination of experiences together. When you're thinking about this, how do you say, I'm about to create the biggest screen, the biggest experience, live feed everything into this thing?
Yeah.
That's not a small task. How do you
No.
even bring all this
No.
together?
No, it's not a small task. It's
Yeah.
not a small task. We were able to bring this together because the product was so good. Our proof of concept that I put together in 2019 with some partners in figuring out what could this be. It was such a memorable moment. It was like the proverbial light bulb, right? You get a chicken skin. I stood
Mhm.
I stood in this demo the first time as we put some things together, and it gave me an emotional feeling, like a physical. It was physical,
Yeah.
and it was like this this works, and Immediately, I knew exactly what the steps were to get it done.
What
Th
sparks that idea?
there wasn't any question mark, right? It
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, I know exactly how we have to do this, and it's gonna be very, very hard." Like getting these rights is going to be damn near impossible.
Mhm.
Doing the production, I was like, okay, we knew two companies that I could do the production with, and it was layering on all the experiences, honestly. And then now eventually we ended up buying those two companies
Yeah,
and
yeah.
rolled them into our skill set. So, and then what sparked the idea around Cosm? Look, it was a mashup of a bunch of different ideas. Honestly, with my chairman is a guy named Steve Wynn, not the guy in the casinos
Mhm.
with an I, not the Y. He's super successful. He's our chairman and main capital partner. And he'd always been enamored by planetariums
Uh-huh.
and science. And he had donated a planetarium to where I had gone to middle school in Texas.
Oh, wow.
And so he knew about planetariums. And after I'd left Fox, he and I were working together. I was consulting for him as I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go next. I ended up helping him invest in his venture portfolio, and we were just chopping it up. And he's like,
Mhm.
"What do you think about this planetarium company?" I go, "Planetarium company." Steve is like, "I'm not a planetarium guy."
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Take a look and see what you think." And started looking at it, and I go, "Hmm." Started understanding they had this underlying technology that was amazing, and it was a public company, and it wasn't really well understood out there. And we just
Yeah.
started digging in. And it's like, wow, this is pretty amazing. I go, you know what? I think we can put live sports in here. With what's going on in this space and the tech and what I know about the production space, and I think this stuff could. I think we could put this all together and it'll work. And I found some old VR content that we'd had
Uh-huh.
as the first proof of concept, and I said, if this works, and if they can do it live, this is something.
Uh-huh.
And put it together, and it was like, whoa!
Yeah.
Like literally, it was almost knocked me on my off my feet.
Uh-huh.
And I never felt that feeling like I'd been walking out of a tunnel into a football stadium. You know that feeling,
Oh,
right? Like
1000%.
you can't, it's what we chase.
Mhm.
Like we chase that feeling,
Yeah.
and it gave it to me. And I mean, even now I'm getting, I get,
Oh, it's
get it,
special. You
right?
walk
Like
in the thing
it's,
and you're looking around, and you're like, "I feel like I'm here."
yeah. And it was that allows to, and then people think this happened overnight. The proof of concept was 2019.
Mhm.
That's when I made the first call to the NFL, 2019. I was like, guys, I'm coming with something. And they're like, sure, Jeb, can't wait. Didn't get that deal done until 2024.
Mm,
Look, like a lot of people maybe would have given up. I don't know,
yeah,
but like what we had to go through, we closed on this company. The original acquisition was Evans and Sutherland. Week 3 of COVID, April 6th, 2020,
that's a good time.
right in the middle of it. Right. Yeah. So it's I see this path at Cosm is really mirrors a lot of the steps along the way. It leverages every step I've had, and really fortunate to be in the seat, privileged to lead this team, and I think we've got something incredible.
You said something interesting, which it doesn't always happen. Your leaders at Fox, who you reported to, you've actually been able to hire
Yeah.
to work for you. And I think the big lesson in that is just your ability to have maintained relationships all this time, and just walk through just like how that has come about, and having that call to convince them to come about, or even being able to call the NFL and leave them on
Well,
good graces. And
look, it's when I was trying to get buy-in on the idea,
Mhm.
right? The proof of concept worked. We were mocking up some things, and it's like, all right, who am I going to go to help me pressure test this?
Yeah.
Right? Is this real? And we got a group together. It was all Fox executives that I had worked for that were senior to me, and it was just because they were smart people and they were friends. It was like, tell me what you think about this, right? And after that meeting, every single one of them called me separately.
Mhm.
Oh, this is really interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, okay. Oh, it's like, okay,
Okay.
okay, we got some there, and like no slouches. Like fast forward, and we started getting more conviction about it. We started to build a team. It worked out that at the time, um, Fox was selling to Disney,
Mhm.
right? And so there was a lot of talent that was open to work
Yeah.
because there was a lot of shifting and changing as these companies were coming together. And I was like, able to go in and recruit them over and bring them as part of our founding team. And they were all senior to me at Fox, and they really showed me the way. And part of my success at Fox, I would say, is because I had great people around me to show me how to navigate and do the
Mm.
thing. And that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to bring them over and recruit them over at Cosm,
Yeah.
is because of that.
Mm.
And honestly, it's calling on the same people that I played with, or the coaches, or the league, you name it,
Mm.
and building on that kind of past history throughout the years. I could not have done this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I needed that body of work so that people would take the leap because
Yeah.
the first thing we had to trade on was our brand equity and market, personal brand equity.
Yeah.
Because
People
it
trusting you.
sound like crazy people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get a dome. It's a planetarium. People will be there, right? Pitching this over
Yeah.
Zoom with a
Uh,
PowerPoint. And we're like, okay,
yeah.
right? But it's just like consistently proving that,
Yeah.
and that body of work. And that's how we got here.
Yeah. And talk about the talent piece though, because it's you're in a highly complex, hard business and not sacrificing the talent. And we were talking earlier about how you think about almost building your talent roster like an NFL talent roster, of how you find these people, how you evaluate these people, how you lead these people, almost create a high performance team within Cosm.
I bet my team would echo this is I am a leader and builder. I'm not a manager.
Yeah. What do you think the difference is?
There's a massive difference. I'm in the trenches. I'm on the plane. I'm in the thing doing it. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not at the desk,
Uh,
sending you emails.
uh,
We're in it. And if you work directly for me, I shouldn't have to manage you.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a standing weekly with me.
Yeah.
It's just like we're building this thing together and we're in it together. Right.
Uh-huh.
So I like doing like having a forward lean and a willingness to do is core to who we are as leadership.
Uh-huh.
If you are a leader in this organization, one, you're an expert in your field, but you get in and you do the thing,
Yeah.
right? That is a requirement number one. And then the second is like you have to be a good person.
Mhm.
So the good person filter is something that we cherish at Cosm. Um, we get it right mostly, but if we get it wrong, we try to course correct pretty quick.
Yeah.
And when you think about building a successful NFL team, it's not just the guys that are playing, right? That's not what I learned because you always know that, and there's some guys with talent that might not be great dudes or great teammates, but they're going to do the thing,
Yeah.
and you want them on the field,
You only have a
right?
couple of those guys,
Right.
though.
There's only a couple you can stomach, but it's the support staff, and that's what I miss most about the NFL is when you're playing football, you have the world's best support staff around you, helping you do your thing the absolute best.
Mhm.
That is the job. The trainers, the equipment managers, the coaches, the kitchen staff, like
Mhm.
you name it. They're great, and
Yeah.
their job is to help you perform. We think about that the same way at Cosm, right? It's not just the engineers or the production team, right? Or the sales guys or BD or marketing. It's not just those. It's the entire staff that we have around us. And our goal as leaders, right? It's to lead, but it's also to make sure we position our team to do the thing.
Yeah.
So how do we think about that, right? It's resourcing, right? Maybe that's making sure they have the best computers and hardware, or it's making sure we have the financing, or it's making sure they just have the tool set to execute. It's vision, like
Mm.
making sure that they are aligned and they know where they're working. No one likes to sit there and tread water.
No, no, no,
At
no.
least anyone that I've met,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
like just paddle around. No, like you have to set the vision, right? You have to do that, and they have to know where they're going and have that direction. And then ideally, if you can do those things, you can get out of the way
Yeah.
and let them do their best work and help and guide and not micromanage or ankle bite along the way. And that's what we try to do. We don't always do it perfectly, but that's the general framework of doing this. And it's one of those things where an NFL player, a professional athlete, when they're in that flow state on the field. They're just playing. They're not thinking, right?
Mhm.
They've been prepped to get there. They've been resourced to get there. They've got great talent around them. And you just see it unfold.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can look at a team that's not doing well and you can just see the
Yeah.
dysfunction out there, right? Like it jumps off the page.
Uh-huh.
And so there's a lot of through lines to that, I think, in the business world. And we bring that to life. And I'm sure the team makes fun of me for being coachy
I bet.
sometimes. You're like, oh, here comes Jeb. What's he
Yeah.
going to talk about now? But we have all hands every 2 weeks,
Uh-huh.
like company wide. Here's the state of the state. This is what's happening. This is what's on our mind,
Yeah.
right? And it's just that communication, and we pull a lot from athletics and competition, and I think it's paying off well.
Yeah, I tell people often, football's fully integrated. You can't win just with the offense. If my contact falls out, I need the trainer. If I cramp, I need the nutritionist. If somebody important's coming, you need security. Like all these things are fully integrated. And with all y'all's multiple lines of business, I started to see that through line in looking at y'all. Um, but you don't get anything without leadership. How has sport informed how you lead? How have you grown as a leader? What
Yeah.
do you do to grow as a leader? So that you continue to evolve, that the company evolves.
Leadership doesn't just have to be at the top. Leadership
Mhm.
can also be from the bottom,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's really important is that we as a company ensure we're investing in our team and getting leaderships at every level, at
Hmm.
every step of the way. And it's also making sure the people that we bring in have those leadership traits. Because as we build this, Cosm will never be static. We're always innovating, pushing. If we want to be the venue of now,
Mhm.
that means our technology is of now, it is the best of the mark, and it is pushing forward. And I need to have a team of experiences, diverse experiences from all walks of life that are coming in and forming us and helping us evolve. So that's step one. And so are those people the leaders that we want? Do they lead by example or are they just loud people in the room?
Mhm.
Right? Are they pulling their sleeves up and actually doing the work? Or do they want someone to do the work for them and they just want to kind of chirp on the side? Like
Yeah.
there's all these things we look at. And a lot of that I learned from looking at the sport construct, right? You have literally the head coach,
Mhm.
you have the coordinators, you
Yeah.
have the position coaches,
Yep.
then you have the assistant coaches,
Mhm.
right? Or grads or whoever it is on one side. And then you have the GM,
Yep.
right? The support staff that's into ownership on this side as well,
Mhm.
right? And then you also look at the staff under the support staff and what's going on there, right? You have a head trainer,
Yeah.
you have specific trainers, then you have guys that just help the O line.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And there's things along that team construct that I think apply well to how we've built our business and team. I think people, especially now, they want to rally around something they're building.
Yeah.
Like they want to rally and be part of a team. And look, this extends all the way to our team in the venues.
Mhm.
So everyone you see at a Cosm is a Cosm team member,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? And rallying around that and giving them a conviction of being part of this thing,
Mhm.
people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll fight for you if you'll fight for them too. So there's a lot of that. I mean, opening night, I remember we were here. I mean, we've opened with a bang here. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
all gas, like
Uh-huh.
NBA Finals, World Cup, Harry Potter, you name it. We've had it all. And we just got slammed,
Mhm.
right? Slammed. And our executive team was in the back doing dishes with them. And they were coming back. They looked at us and we said, yeah, yeah, this is what we do.
We're in it with you.
Right, we're in it, and
Yeah.
there's just those little moments, right, where you can have those times. You don't have to do it all the time, but if you show that willingness to grind, and that you're there to support them, I think it sets you up well for success in whatever you're building.
Yeah. And how do you think about competition? Because now Cosm's on film, and it's a copycat league where people try to copy your play week in, week out. How do you think about continuing to extend the runway, the lead, as y'all eventually may spread around the world?
Yeah, to look to competitors out there, I would just say good luck. I look, what we do is not easy,
Yeah.
right? But what we do is fantastic, and
Uh-huh.
fans love it.
Uh-huh.
So we're keeping our foot on the gas, and what we focus on is what we can control and what we do. Right? So we're going to continue to super serve the fan, super serve our broadcast and league partners, super serve our studios, and continue to invest in our team and scale this thing. Well, our
Yeah.
ambition is unbounded. We want to build this thing around the world. I want to cause them in every city.
Mhm.
And I want eventually to be like, yeah, I know what Cosm is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and if I'm not in your city, I want someone to say, I want Cosm here.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
soon can you get here? Like, that is what we're building. We want to be on par with the biggest well known brands around the world. And we're going to focus and run our race and control the things that we can control. There's a lot going on, and we can look across things and we can continue to drive excellence across every vertical of the business. Now, competitors, people clearly see what we're doing, and there will be people out there that try to compete with us or do versions of what we do. I feel good about our seat.
Mhm.
I feel good about our capabilities, our partners, everything we're doing there. And if as long as we stay hungry and we have this will to compete and the will to win. The will to win is something that
Mhm.
you're going to grind through.
Yeah, yeah.
If someone else has got it, great. Come see us,
Yeah,
But I like where I like our seat, and
yeah.
we're going to focus on what we're doing and super serving for the fans.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand that distinction of like you can think big, but then having to actually go out and execute big is a whole different
It's a
animal.
whole different animal. Look, the scale of what we're operating at right now, right? I mean, we have thousands of employees. We
Hmm.
have people around the world producing content for us. We have capital partners around the world, right? We're operating at quite a large scale at this point, and being able to navigate that and ensuring that everybody gets what they need
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and trying to identify those things and making sure that we're building this thing as a platform that scales globally. Um, we There's a lot of moving parts, and of course, we feel like we've got them all well covered,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But it's not something that happens overnight.
I'll get you a couple rapid fire. The importance of staying in shape. You still look like you could play a little bit. Uh, a lot of leaders struggle with just like their physical health because their jobs are so demanding. How do you do that, especially as you're moving all across the world for stuff?
The way I do it,
Mhm,
it's actually I thought about that a lot recently, because it's hard to pull yourself away from work,
mhm.
right? It's like, okay, I got because you'll hear the old adage like you wake up and there's a fire.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
as the CEO, you wake up, there's a dead fish on your desk. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's
Mm,
and trying to figure out and the way I've done it mentally, I've
mhm.
I've said, okay, been blessed with this physical stature and capability. I need to turn this into an asset that's valuable for our business.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? What's more valuable, an in shape CEO that can come into a room and command presence, or an out of shape CEO that's out of breath, looks like a slob,
yeah.
right, and can't walk up a set of stairs?
Uh-huh.
Right? Because you can go either way. You see no linemen that go both ways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? Like, look, we can if you pay me to be 300 pounds, I'll get there real fast. But I'm not getting paid to be 300 pounds anymore. And so but that's that's the way I've been able to carve out the time. It's like, all right, being in shape is valuable for the company,
Mhm.
right? Longevity. Take the family and personal side, right? That's
Yeah.
always absolutely mission critical. And I got a son who's coming for me,
Uh-huh.
so I got to stay in shape. But that's the primary thing is why should I take my time away from work and the goal,
Yeah,
right? And making sure that I frame it as this time running or this time lifting is value add to me personally as a CEO, helps me lead better, but it's also an asset to the organization. That whatever the company needs from me,
you looked the part.
I got to be in shape. I got to do the thing. I've got to be able to do that and run through the traps. These days are long,
Uh-huh.
18 hours days. I don't even know how many flights I take a year.
Yeah,
I guess in the past 7 days, so past 10 days, I've been in London, I've been in Chicago, I've been in Kansas City, I've been in Washington, DC, I've been in LA, and I've been in Atlanta,
yeah,
you know? So to do that, navigate that, you've got to try to focus and stay healthy, so that you're productive when you're doing that.
yeah.
And that's part of the why I try to stay in shape.
Favorite thing to do outside of sports when you're not working?
Hunting. Love
What
to hunt. Absolute favorite pastime. That old adage, I'd rather be hunting. Like
yeah.
that's it. Hunting with my son. Um, that is my absolute favorite. I love bow hunting elk. Is also it's kind of the thread through that. I think it's physically challenging, mentally challenging. It's you get up in the mountains. It's a big passion of mine.
Love it. The thing from sports that helps you the most now?
The ability to grind.
Mhm.
I think that's probably it. The ability to grind and overcome failure, um, overcome controversy, or overcome negative feedback.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
When you're not playing well,
Oh, yeah.
and they will tell you.
They're not mixing words.
They're not mincing words, and that I think the ability to digest that, um, I think that's really important.
Mhm.
Because as an entrepreneur path, you're going to be told no. You're going to be told no chance.
Yeah.
You're going to be told that a million times,
Over and over and over and over again.
over and over and over and over, right? It's like when we were kids and we said we're going to play in the NFL, people are like, you might want to set your goals a little bit differently. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard,
Uh-huh.
right? So I think that's part of it. The ability to grind and be able to digest that negative feedback.
I think the interesting thing about that, and you can relate to this, most of my friends are athletes. And so whatever that point whatever percent is, doesn't even register to me sometimes because my circle of people, they're all high performing athletes and they all set the goal. They want to go hunt it down. And I just started to realize how hard it was.
Yeah.
Along the way, it didn't even make sense. It was like, yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. It's
Yeah.
attainable, so I'm going for
We're going for it.
it.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to go play in college. I'm going to perform well. I'm going to go to the league,
hmm
right?
Yeah. And last question for you. Um, what do you hope for the future?
What do I hope for the future? I'll keep it focused on the company and
Mhm,
business,
mhm.
right? I don't need to get into all the
Yeah,
other
philosophical stuff.
philosophical stuff. There's much many people thinking deeper about that than me, and I'll keep my family aside because, family and success for my family, all that matters incredibly. It's again, it's why we work so hard, right? To
Mhm,
set our families up and let them see what it takes to win. Um, what I want for the future of Cosm is we want to be one of the well-known, most prolific entertainment technology companies in the world. That's what we want. We want to
mhm,
have Cosms around the world, and we want fans to be able to go to any Cosm and get that same level of quality experience wherever they are in the world.
mhm.
They come in, they feel good, and they have that experience that they've grown to love. And when you sit back and look, we want to be, on the mantle with the best of the best.
Yeah, yeah.
All the big companies, right now, right? We want to have a seat up there. We think it can be done. We think we can be a category defining thing. We've taken the first step over the starting line. We're in the race now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We know we've got something fantastic. And now running the race, scaling, executing, building, and defining this whole new category of fandom and experience. That's what we want in the
Yeah.
future. And we see it. I think as a company, we know our company, we use a lot of slogans, like just like sport.
Uh-huh.
We've got themes for the year. I know, and the one we have this year, that's internal, that's in-house,
Yeah.
but you'd recognize it. We're on our path, and
Yeah.
that's where we want to be.
Man, y'all are well on y'all's way. North Carolina needs one, preferably Charlotte. That's my hometown.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
If you go to the Triangle region, I won't be upset, but come to Charlotte. And I would say it's always inspiring to me to see, especially athletes transition, because I know how much we put into the first chapter of our life. And everybody wants to have, the story, gold jacket career. But then to see someone take that same intentionality and then apply it to somewhere else and then reach for whatever the pro version of that is always really cool to me. And so from gridiron greats to gridiron grunts to now, and as a guy that's seen Cosm multiple times, I think it's phenomenal. And you're well on your way. So I appreciate you, brother.
Thank man. Enjoyed it, man.
Yeah,
And
for
by the
sure.
way, and thank you for being with us at Gridiron Grunts. You're
That
one
was
of our
super
first
cool.
athletes, man. One of our first athletes.
That was super cool, and I don't think people understand because back then, even to think about how you even started thinking about the fan experience. Because as a player, we're focused on playing, and football is different, where you're not proximal to the fans. You have your helmet on, and you're with your team, and so to even have you have the foresight to, I mean, that's player branding, that's player engagement, that's player everything, giving fans access, which you're essentially doing in a bigger version now.
Yep.
Is pretty cool. I guess one question for you is, what sparked that interest of staying in sport in a different way? Because you only think about sport as an athlete sometimes as playing or coaching or maybe some other thing, but you're in it
Well,
still.
look, I think that's probably why you asked one of the questions is why didn't I go through like the banking career?
Yeah.
I think it's because I wanted to be in sport.
Hmm.
And that's the thing. What are we passionate about? What do we know? What do we love? Where do you have differentiated knowledge?
Yeah.
And looking at that, like the banking career, I could have layered in some sport
Hmm.
into that, right? Working in sport. But Ryan and I both at the time, we knew how to navigate the athlete space. We knew what motivated the athletes, right? We understood agents. We
Hmm.
we understood the access and how cool it was. Like we had a differentiated knowledge base
Yeah.
that I didn't want to go to waste. Like, how
Uh-huh.
do we leverage that? And that's part of it. And because love sport and just absolutely irrationally passionate about it. Um, and so if we're going to work this hard, might as well be working in something that you love.
I love that,
And
man.
that's why we stayed in it.
And stay in it.
Staying in it. Hopefully we can help shape it,
Yeah. Well, man, this is awesome. Hopefully get some time to go hunt. Safe travels to you.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.